Hi, Robert Antone here from Antone's. On this video I'm going to discuss ways of cutting latex, the tools you'll need to cut it, and how to cut it. Cover punching holes and scissors and so forth. So let me move the camera around so it get you in close so you can see what's going on. Okay, we're back. These are some of my tools. The rulers I like use for cutting mats, hole punch, scissors, rotary cutters, blades. So we'll go over and talk about some of these. Let me move these out of the way and we'll go from there. Some scissors just will not work on latex. These are nice big scissors, but they will not cut your latex. They just don't work. A cheap pair of scissors like these, they will not cut your latex. So if you're buying scissors, make sure you buy a decent scissors. These are a lot sturdier, a lot better. See, they cut the latex very nice. They do a good job. So that's need nice scissors. I like these little ones. These little ones you can get in small areas and small places. You want to cut to the end. See if I can get this around here. You can trim up right to the end. So those are really nice. A little pair like that. The main tool I usually use for cutting my latex is the rotary cutter. Rotary cutters work really nice. You cut nice straight lines, curved lines, right around. There's several different styles, several different kinds. If you noticed when I cut this with this one here, it skipped. And it skipped because the blade's got nicks in it. So that's why you need a nice sharp blade in them all the time. And I use one rotary cutter for latex. The other one I will use on my paper patterns because paper will dull them really quick. So they also make this little bitty one. And this one here you can get in and do a really tight curve with it. That you can go a lot tighter than you can this one, because this bigger one, there's just no way you're going to get a tight curve out of it, not make it look nice. So the little clear plastic rulers are great for cutting. Take your rotary cutter right along, nice straight line. I got a 36-inch, well, let's see, this is a 36-inch ruler. They make different shapes, so you can pick and choose. I would not use a steel rule as a guide, because if you hit your blade against it and nick your blade, the blade's destroyed. Even a plastic will do that, but it's less likely to happen with the plastic. What's nice about the plastic, you can see through it and see where you're at. I recommend using a cutting mat. This one's a 2x3. I have several other sizes that I like to use, and they seem to last a long, long time. I've had this one almost 15 years and it's still going. So, you hear of people doing it on wood. When I've seen it done on wood, a lot of times it'll do an interrupted cut, because the rotary cutter's hitting a hard and soft grain, and especially if you're doing thin latex. When you get the thin latex, it will not work on the wood, plus you dull your blade. Some people use plexiglass. Plexiglass is a little hard. I've seen other people take and use Formica countertops. That's hard. All those surfaces will dull your blade. Your blade gets dull, it's hard to make a nice clean cut where you're not going to have any nicks in it. So that's why I prefer the cutting mat. You know, there's self-healing cutting mats, and that's the best thing to do. Some people say put two of them together. Even if you put two of them together to make a larger mat, we'll show you what happens here. Now they're pushed tight together. When you cut, it'll leave a, right where that little gap is. Right where that little gap is, it'll leave a little trace here. So even if you to make a larger mat, they say you can put two together. It may work on material, but it's not working right, or will not work right on your latex. You cannot use an X-Acto knife. People say sharp blades or sharp knives. Watch what happens when you try an X-Acto knife with a straight edge even. I don't know if you can see the jagged edge it leaves. Let me zoom in here. See how close I can get. I'm hoping you can see the jagged edge on it. And if you're doing freehand or trying to cut a pattern out, it just pulls and snaps. There's just no way you can cut with it. So the X-Acto knives are out. Dull scissors are out. Like I said, your rotary blades, you need to keep a sharp blade in there. They do make sharpeners for the rotary cutter blades, but I have not seen any of them that really work very well. So, you know, this is something you're going to have to play with. The other thing is, I stress very strongly, when you get done using your rotary cutter, retract the blade. You got to retract the blade. Blade out, cut, hit the button, push it back in. This one's the same way. Blade out, you can lock it out, put it back in. If you lay these cutters down and you're going around and you bump your hand on them, they will do some damage. They're very, very sharp. This style here, this is set up for a right-handed person. So you can see where you're cutting as a right-handed person. If you're left-handed, you can take and turn them around. Let's see here. And watch yourself when you're changing your blades. See, this would be for a left-handed person. So you can see on this side where he's cutting, or where she is cutting. So but for left-handed people, it's a little harder to retract the blade because you gotta push it with your other finger. So they will adapt. Yeah, all three of these will change from left-handed to right-handed, or right-handed to left-handed. Scissors, like I said, you need a good sharp pair of scissors. The problem you get with scissors is every time you start and stop, you're liable to get a nick. And if you get a nick in there, that's a potential tear area where it'll start tearing. That's why I like the rotary cutters. Rotary cutters work a lot better. If you take your scissors and run them to the end, you're definitely going to get a nick in there. Let's go here. You never want to come to the end like that on your scissors. It leaves for a jagged cut. Jagged edges. Let's see if I can zoom in here again. Don't know if you can see the little let's see if I can get it here. The little tab on there. that little piece that's sticking out. That little piece is sticking out. That's a good place to start tearing. Or if it gets caught on something, it'll tear off. These little scissors are even still the same way. If you cut to the end, you're going to get little nicks at the end, and you never get started in the same spot again. That's why the rotary cutters are so much better. One nice easy swoop. Okay. You need to keep extra blades on hand, because if you nick one, you're in the middle of a project, you don't want to be left there and not be able to finish your project. And if they get dull or they get a little nick in them, I usually save them and use them in my second cutter for cutting on my paper patterns. Because like I said, if you take a new blade, they cut nice on the paper, but it dulls them quite a bit. So you need, if you got a small cutter, you need the small blades. And the other one, you need the blades the size you need. These two items are, I think, some of the most used items that come in the handiest for me. They're small. You don't need the big mat out all the time. They're right here in front of you. You cut. If you're doing any trimming, they're small enough to use on your table and do your trimming. Do little slivers if you want, or trim your edges down. I use these two a lot. 18-inch rule and the 18-inch cutting mat. There's something else that you should not do, is try and put two layers of latex together and cut them. It never works out, it seems like. So if you're trying to cut a pattern and you've got two pieces of latex together, they walk around on you. But if you want them both the same size, this will not work. As you can see, one of the pieces is walking more than the other. So try to avoid that. What else? We were going to talk about hole punches. Punching holes for your snaps. This is a cheapie hole punch. Don't waste your money on a cheap one. A cheap one will not cut. So it's just save up and buy a good one. This one here, you can replace all the cutters in it. They unscrew out. You can replace the anvil in them. Let me zoom in on this. Yes, all these can be taken out and replaced. This lower anvil down here can be replaced. Even the good hole punches will not punch a hole completely through. But I got a little trick I do that helps that quite a bit. Take a thin piece of cardboard here from like a cereal box. Put it underneath your latex. And you can start punching your holes in. It'll punch very nice holes just with that thin piece of cardboard under there. It acts like the cutting mat does. If you want smaller holes, we can do smaller holes. But that cardboard makes a world of difference. Even then, once in a while, they like to stick in there. But you can come up with making a series of small holes that would work for your for eye holes. If you like a lot of little holes. Thinner latex. You need, that's even harder to punch holes in the thinner latex. Once in a while you'll get a little tab on it and you need to pull it off. But you can see all the little holes in there. I hope this video helped you with your cutting and punching holes. And please subscribe, hit the bell so you get notification of the next video that comes out. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know if there's any more information you want to know on cutting, or what else you'd like to know on making and repairing latex. Thanks for watching. Have a good latex day and enjoy your latex. Later.